Some of you have noticed I've been using the Moyu Weilong WR recently. So I made a review on the WR, said it wasn't as good as the GTS 3, and so I made a bunch of changes to this, and I'm not sure if it's my main yet, but I'll show you what I did. So if you watch the video, you know that I switched out the springs for the stronger ones that came in the box, and I also set the spring compression to the lowest because the new springs in here are quite strong, so I don't want to make it even stronger. Also, I thought the GTS 3 magnets were great. These weren't strong enough, so I added extra magnets inside every edge piece, and I don't know what strength this extra magnet is, but I know it came with the WR in the box. So there are 12 edge pieces, and you need 24 of these in order to put it in both of the edges. And I don't remember if the WR came with 6 or 12 extra magnets, but I had a lot more extra laying around just from other cubes I'd bought before. Okay, now let's get into the example solves. So these are color neutral example solves, and I'll be pointing out pretty much everything that I'm thinking about during the solve. So we have red here and we have orange here. Okay, obviously I'm going to do orange. So orange has 3 cross pieces done already, and we have this one here. So in a case that's this easy, I'll probably be trying to either look ahead to 2 pairs or set up my first pair and look ahead to the second pair and so on. So I'm just going to do D and then R prime and then align the cross. And I noticed these two at first. I also noticed this corner, but it's going to end up in the bottom. This corner is going to stay on top. Okay, so I'm going to have this pair and this pair stay in the top layer, and that's if I add an extra U prime move. So if I just do the cross like this, then this is a bad edge, and this corner is now in the bottom, so I have either this pair, or maybe this and something else, which is not very good. So instead of doing that, I will add a U prime move in here before I start the cross, before I finish the cross, and then do D2, and then I can do this pair. And then these two, and I notice this. And then I can do these two, and I see these two at the back here. And these. So I'm going to rotate to the front. Generally better to rotate to the front, especially because of what I talked about in this video about regrips, where this specific type of case, if you do it from the back, you end up having to regrip, and it's very awkward not to do so. So I'm going to rotate to the front, do this, and then OLL. Here, I see that with this corner pattern, I know I'm going to end up with headlights on this side, which since I'm lefty is good. And then OLL into PLL. So in this example, we have white and we have orange that have cross pieces attached, and we don't have any other ones. And at first glance, white looks like it'll be better because red is here and blue can easily go in here. So that's pretty much 2 cross pieces done in one move. Also, as I insert blue, I notice this one is going to end up here, and if nothing else touches it, this is a great first pair to start. Also, this corner is attached, so I could have an idea of doing an X cross here. But if I don't do an X cross, this is still a very good thing to look for, because if you have a corner attached to a cross piece and the thing next to it is not solved, most likely you can take this into the top layer and have a really easy time predicting where it's going to be. Okay, let's think about the cross solution. So blue here, green can go in here, that's really great. And then I will have orange. I can just set up orange afterwards. This pair that I talked about coming to the top is what I will use first. And it's going to move like this. And then I will set up orange, and then it will move down again. The edge will be solved and the corner will be right here. So like that, insert green and blue, set up orange, and then here I will do this and move this one into here, D prime, insert this. So in general, if you have an edge or corner solved as one of your first few slots, it's really good to use keyhole. Okay, next for this pair, I'm going to set it up into this slot and then insert into the back. And these two and these two. In this case, I just want to show a great trick so that I don't have to do a rotation for either of these cases, and that is by doing these two like this. And then insert. All right, next have this one, and anytime you have 3 cross pieces done on top and you have this case, there's always an easy way to keep all of your edges oriented. So in this case, it's going to be like this. And then all the edges are still oriented. Then insert. All right, and then here I can do COLL. And, oh, skip. Wow. Okay, so green is really easy here. We have white and red. So I can just do D2 and insert these two. And I also noticed that this corner is going to end up being solved. Okay, I was going to talk about where the edge ended up, but I didn't realize it was just going to end up right here. Knowing that it's going to end up here, I would just take it out over here. And then align the cross and insert this into here. And also I noticed this one and this one. So then I'll just insert this pair into here. Unfortunately, wouldn't have noticed this in a speed solve, could just insert that there. Okay, so I would have done this one instead and just predicted what would happen to this. And it's really good during any cases to be able to predict what corner orientation you'll end up with. Because predicting where the edge will go and where the corner will go is not that hard. But for example, here, being able to predict that the green is gonna end up on top here is very useful, because then I can just predict the whole case. So this one, and insert like that. Then I have these two and these two, so this is obviously the better case. and then these two. All right, and then OLL, here I know that my edges, oh, this block is going to be preserved, by the way, and be over here. But then I know from this that I'm going to have my headlights on this side as well. So anytime I know that my block and my headlights are going to be on the same side, then I know that there's going to be a block here. So this is going to be either F perm or J perm. I'm predicting F perm because I don't see any other things that are going to end up as blocks, but I'm not so sure. I'll just do it, and there it is, F perm. So in this scramble, first I would look, so there's red, yellow, white. First I would look at white because of this, and also because we have this one can easily go in like that. Obviously not the right spot, but I could do it like that. And I think I wouldn't do white because it's really annoying to have two pieces that are perfectly set up to go opposite of where they should go when they belong next to each other. So instead I'll look at yellow before red, because with red I noticed this and this are both, these are both bad pieces, so I'll go to yellow first. Yellow is pretty good. All these pieces are good pieces in the sense that they can insert into the cross in one move. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll align the cross to insert red, but before doing that, if I did that, I'd get orange and green on opposites of where they should go, so I will move orange over. Then I can just insert red, insert green, and then do orange last. Okay, so in this case, it's very hard to look at to first pair because I'm turning a lot of layers, so I would just use this one as my first pair because I noticed that it's barely going to move. It's just going to move over like that, and that's it. So it may not be the best first pair to go with, but it is the easiest one to look for. So I would just do that, insert red, insert green, and then insert orange last. So in fact, this one is going to be better for finger tricks, but I'll just do this one because I said I would. And then do these two, pair them up, insert this one and this one, and then this. And here I can skip OLL. The finger tricks are a little bit weird, but how I recognize this is the square. And pretty much anytime this is a square, there tends to be a really nice way to skip OLL. I don't know every single case, but in this case, if this gigantic bar leads to the bottom, which is different from if it were to just go to here. So what you do is instead of just inserting, you also add some B moves here and then finish the insert. All right, and then this is E perm. All right, in this scramble, we have two pieces on green and two pieces on white. So the pieces on green go opposite of each other, which is not a huge deal because I could always just replace one and put this one in later. Just looking at the last piece, ooh, that's not very good. So I'm just going to take a look at white first instead then. White's actually really nice. So red and orange are not correct relative to each other. Orange looks like it's more solved, but it's best to ignore that and just think, okay, one of these is wrong. I'll pick orange wrong because putting in blue is very nice here. And then green and orange are both set up. So I will just do those at the end. Looking for first pair. So I noticed that this corner is going to end up over here. And then when I insert green at the end, it will move up here. And then its edge is over here and that won't move. So that can be my first pair. Okay, so I was going to do the finger tricks for this one like this. But then that would leave me with this and this, which is not great facing this angle because there's no real nice way to pair it up from here unless I'm allowed to rotate. So instead of doing the finger tricks that way, I will do it a different way. So instead of facing green, in order to avoid that rotation, I could just either face red or face orange to do this to start. So obviously I'll face orange because all these pieces are in the front and I don't want to do B moves. So instead I'll do the cross solution like this, which is the same moves, it's just facing a different side. Now this one and this one work out a little bit more nicely when I notice this. So this will be weird because this will end up in the back slot. So I think I'll just do these two instead. And then these two, and these are set up, and wow, these are also set up. All right, and then OLL here, these two opposites, if these two were the same, I know headlights are here, but since they're opposite, headlights are on the other side. And this needs to be adjacent, as in not also green or blue, in order for that to work. So then I'll put the headlights here, and this is A perm. All right, in this scramble, we have white with some very nice pieces. So even though it's just one piece versus two pieces here, white is a very good option. And we also have yellow, and orange here is two pieces. So orange probably better. Yeah, especially because these two pieces are correct relative to each other. Blue doesn't go here, but I could do D2 first. Ooh, and I also noticed this pair. Wonder if I can save that. Okay, so this is already like decently advanced, so I won't, I'll just be showing exactly what I'm doing. So if I do this first to make the pair, then reinserting blue is going to break it again. So I just need to think about how I can take this away from here. And if you're experienced with this sort of edge, you would know that if a pair is here and you insert this edge into the spot directly below it, then this will just move the pair to be over here instead, like that. And then what I'll do is I will take this, insert it, and that helps me move blue over. And then blue. All right, then this pair. Okay, crazy. Things are just setting up for me. And then these two. And since I'm already facing this way, instead of rotating and doing this, then instead from this side, just to orient some edges, I can do 2 sledgehammers. All right, and then OLL and PLL. So I hope you found those useful and not too hard to follow because they were color neutral. But if you're thinking about being color neutral, then check out this video on the end screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.